This is a race that's critical for the championship, so will it be JC on top, or will it be Beastava, or will it be someone... Who's that in the pit lane? What the... Oh my word! Okay, never mind. Sun85, oh no! It's lights out and away we go, and Sun85 starts from the pit lane, and I think that might accidentally give him a slight advantage. I'm not sure, but that's too funny for me to reset it. JC50 gets off to a good start, but Beastava is right behind him. I'm not entirely sure how that bodes for everyone else, but as a reminder, considering that JZ50 and HESK are... no, not HESK. Considering that JZ and Beastava are both using cars that double their points, whoever finishes on top of the other will get a huge boost in their championship campaign. And if you can recall, the one who really needs points right now is Beastava. If he doesn't get enough points in this race, that is going to be disastrous for his championship bid. And he's currently sitting in 7th place while Jay-Z's sitting in 4th. So Beastava needs to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and he needs to do it soon. And there's already been a collision. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but I think it's the Mexican in the Renault, right? Yeah, I recall from the hats. Currently, it's HVSK who looks like he's got the advantage, but currently there's a bit of a bid coming up from Arto, who's also picked the IndyCar. There's so many risk takers in this race. Just look at this. That is quite the ballsy lineup, if you ask me. Like, every single person here who's gone for an IndyCar are confident that they can keep it under control. And considering how difficult it is on this track in particular, that really says a lot. There was also a warbang a little earlier on from Spiderzap, who was notable because even though he's never had the best of luck in any of these sessions, he's always had pretty good pace, and he nearly set the fastest lap at practice. Oh, there was a bit of a slip there. I think that was from Ethan Gaming. Yeah, Ethan Gaming had a bit of a slip as well. Sod85 just kind of vibing back there in the 1992 car. Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z's having a scrap for first between him and HESK. If Jay-Z can pull this off, then this could be huge for his championship battle. Currently, Beastava, his main championship rival, is falling behind about 2 seconds behind. I think he's actively losing time as well. This could spell complete doom for Beastava's championship bid if he's not able to make a recovery. Because remember, this is what the title rides on. And currently Jay-Z is making it stick, and he's making it stick beautifully. Look at how synchronized they were in that corner. They're all taking lines that are so similar that it's impressive. Hold on, I think... Oh, it's a slip for Jay-Z! But look at how he controlled it. That was a masterful save from the Brit right there. That looked like it was surely going to be a full spin from him, but he managed to redirect that into a save, and he's still ahead of Beastava. What an incredible move from... Wow, I think that may have been move of the season if that ends up saving him some critical points. Although Jay-Z is starting to fall back quite a bit now, and they're already within range of Beastava. Considering both of them picked the IndyCar, I feel like one or the other may have made a mistake by going all the way with the risk, considering both of them did. And Spiderzap has a major lockup. I think that may be a track limit. Yes, it is, and I'm pretty sure that was a penalty. I wasn't able to tell from the speed alone. But yeah, flicking through the rest of the order, Ibrandan. Okay, we already have a crash. Ibrandan is very dead. But there's also Crumvin, Benjamin, and Sot is very much relying on someone making a mistake. The blue bodies was someone who came here at just the right time, and they're actually potentially going to be the first people to score points in a 2016 car. So if they do that, that'd be pretty interesting, considering that's pretty much been considered the meme car after all of this time. And right now, it's looking like HVSK is on course to try and win the race. Of course, nothing is ever guaranteed, and there's still a lot more race to be done. But if HVSK can keep things stable, then he's potentially got a ticket to win it. But behind them is the Singaporean driver, Arto. Hold on. Wait, no, that's not Arto. That's Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan, if you remember, finished in the podium for the previous 2 races, and now is potentially on course to take a race win as well. The main championship rivals of Jay-Z and Beastava are still just over a second away from each other, so one mistake from any of them could spell doom for that title battle. For Jay-Z, if he slips up, then that's going to be a lot to, wait, if Jay-Z slips up, that's going to give him less wiggle room. If Beastava slips up, that's going to end the championship battle right there. especially considering that there are potentially as few as 2 races after this. Hopefully 3 if we see the introduction of Albert Park. But of course, no guarantees. Okay, so it's still looking like HESK is able to... Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, that's confirmation right there that I should, by accident. 100% rain for the entire thing. Okay, Super Saiyan 2018 is actually handling this masterfully. I mean, he is in the best car for the wet weather, but, I mean, still, look at him. That right there is the sign of someone with total confidence in their driving style and their car. And Spider-Zap, hold on, Spider-Zap, after locking up and falling so far behind, has already started to climb back up the order. And it's Super Saiyan 2018 who currently has the fastest lap. Wait, no! Hold on. Wait. Yeah, it is Super Saiyan 2018 by just a little bit as well. If Jay-Z or Beastiver want the fastest lap, then they're going to have to get it for the second after they pit, because this raid is not going to disappear. And remember, those bonus fastest lap points could potentially be a title decider as well. Jay-Z still keeping things relatively in control. Oh no! Oh, and Super Saiyan 2018 hits the wall and plummets down the order. The fan favorite Spaniard, we had a joke where because he finished on the podium in Azerbaijan with a 3rd place, and then went 2nd place on the previous race, we said that next race was going to be a guaranteed win for him. But no, I'm guessing so far not quite. Although there is still a lot of race left to decide who finishes where, and it's seeming like Jay-Z is slowly getting distance on Beastiver, but he's still not out of the range where... Ooh, did you see that? He nearly slipped out, and Otto did slip out! Ooh, I feel like Otto probably didn't make the wisest decision by going for the IndyCar, but again, there's still a lot more race and a lot more room for everyone else to make a mistake. And now, Spider-Zap, after that huge mistake, is only 3 seconds down on the lead and is gaining rapidly. If they're able to continue their impressive pace on the rest of the pack, they may potentially be in for a... Moto? Hey! Hello? Hey, hi? Whoa! I didn't expect to see you here. Why is Moto here? if he gets points, that'd be the funniest thing ever. But yeah, if you look at this, Spider-Zap is actually... Okay, HESK made a mistake. That means Jay-Z has a chance to take the lead, but Spider-Zap is actually catching up more and more and more. He's only a second away from the lead, and he's the one who's gaining positions. Could this be a surprise win for the Brit? I really don't know, but considering how many mistakes he's made in the prior races, if he wins this, that would be one of the most impressive upsets I've seen in my couple years commentating for league races. But of course, that all depends on if he's able to keep it in control, and the main championship rival of Beastiver is not going to give that up for free as Spider-Zap. Hold on, wait, no, that's not Beastiver, that's Jay-Z. He's still catching up to Jay-Z, and I think he's going to make an overtake on the championship leader as well if he's able to nail these next couple corners. Man, wouldn't that be a sight? Oh, he's going deep on the inside. I think that may have been an overtake, and if not, it's very close. Some smoke coming from Jay-Z. Oh, come on. Oh, and it's a wallbang from Jay-Z. That might just give Spiders at the position. I'm not sure, considering the top speed of these things. That right there's a beautiful screenshot to take to represent this. And now Spider-Zap is less than a second down on the leader. Wait, did he disconnect? No, please tell me that's just a lag spike. Did Spider-Zap disconnect from the game? Oh my god, if Spider-Zap disconnected, I'm gonna be so pissed. Come on, please just tell me that's it's not a lag spike, is it? Fuck! Anyway. So that right there, after such a dream run, puts Spider-Zap out of the race before it's even properly finished. I feel so bad for that. Oh my god. That was... Of all the people to try and like put the fear and wrath of God into him on his dream run? Really? So now, all eyes turn back to the battle between Beastiver and Jay-Z, because during all of this chaos, the main two championship rivals have been about 2 seconds away from each other. And it's seeming like Jay-Z is slowly starting to gain ground. And of course, we still have the interesting case of HCSK leading this race. Now, he's pretty much out of the championship battle, but if HCSK stays ahead, that could potentially be a really bad burden to carry for his previous championship rival, Beastiver. So, yeah, I feel like HCSK is doing everything he can to keep Jay-Z behind him, not to try and ruin Jay-Z's points, but to give Beastiver less. Because remember, those two have been championship rivals for ages now. Hold on, there was a bit of wheel smoke from Jay-Z, but no, that was just some replay jank. I don't think there was actually anything like proper that caused that. Maybe it was the game just kind of having a seizure. That's my best guess. That's my best guess. Hang on, Sun85 is just casually vibing in 8th place. How the hell did he get up there? Anyway. Wait, no, it's P7 for Sun85. He's on an incredible run considering the car he's got, and he's even beating out Alan Walker Musical. Yeah, an impressive run from him. Hold on, Beastiver's starting to gain on HVSK. As a reminder, oh, it's Arto with the fastest lap now. Arto has the fastest lap. It must have been an impressive time from them considering where they are on the board. But if they finish with that, that's gonna be a nice batch of 20 points for the Singaporean. Okay, HGSK still keeping things relatively in control. Him winning the championship is somewhat out of the question, but I feel like he's mainly just doing this to show that he's still got it, and again, also to limit Jay-Z's points. Again, there's not too much to comment on right now, but as a reminder, this is one of the longest races of the season, considering the relatively long length of Miami, the wet weather slowing everyone down, and the fact that we've got 25 laps in this race, which is a little bit higher than average, but yeah. And yeah, we have confirmation right there that Spider's disconnected from the game. It seems like his bad luck has come to strike him yet again. And this is potentially the last wet weather race of the season, so if his forte was... Hold on! Who's that spinning off? Is that Jay-Z? Wait, did Jay-Z spin off? Or was that someone else? Who was that? I definitely saw someone going off, but I don't know. I think that might have been Jay-Z. But regardless, the gap between Beastiver and Jay-Z has shrunk down a lot, but then it's sort of expanded again. No, seriously, who was that? Who was that I just saw crashing in the distance? I have no clue. I have no clue. Beastiver keeping things relatively contained as he, that was my phone. Hang on. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to check it. Hold on! I think that may have either been a mistake from HCSK or an incredible sector from Jay-Z, because he just cut down the gap between him and the lead by a lot. Hang on, Arto's currently on a fast lap. Are they going to be able to turn it into something special and improve their current fast lap even more? I'm not sure, considering the average sectors the average sector 2 for everyone else is like a 32.3 or something, and theirs is a 33.5. But hey, we might as well wait and see, considering that's the fastest first sector we've got so far. Does Arto make it stick? No, they don't. I had a feeling that would have been a bit too much of a time bleed, but hey, that was a nice sector 1 from them. Hold on a minute, Beastiver's starting to fall back as Jay-Z is only climbing forward more and more and more and more. As a reminder, all Jay-Z needs to do is finish ahead of Beastiver. And even though that technically doesn't give him the championship because of how many potential points you could get, it essentially means that he's put one hand on the trophy. I'm not sure. But yeah, Son85, he's climbed up to P7 in the Seneca. Very, very interesting choice from him. And Super Saiyan's now falling closer to Auto as well. I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be like a huge battle from them or if it's just going to be a pass without thinking about it kind of ordeal. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we're nearing the halfway mark of the race, and it's looking like by the tiniest sliver, Jay-Z is going to have the advantage on Beastiver and therefore put one hand on the championship trophy. But of course, we do have an entire rare ace to see if any more mistakes are going to be made. And Jay-Z already made one mistake by nearly slipping out at the infamous uppercut chicane or whatever the hell you'd say name it is. Oh no, and Jay-Z committed manslaughter. Oh no, and there goes Beastiver as well. I mean, the move of a champion, I guess. But woo! I mean, that one move that was done by Jay-Z still resulted in an incredible recovery from him, which I'm sure you all saw when he redirected the line of the slide to put himself in a better spot. Like, that may have been move of the season if it gave him the advantage, but yeah. We've still got a lot of time to see if any potential mistakes start to fall. Beastiver currently not necessarily having the best of runs right now, but he's cutting out a bit of the time from Jay-Z. And like I said, all that matters here is the track position between these two, especially considering what that will result in for the championship. Jay-Z nearly goes tight enough to lead into a slip, but he restrains himself and holds it in just the way he'd need to. Also is also in the mix as well. After making that mistake before, they have made an incredible recovery to bring themselves all the way back up to here. I do not know what just fell there. Ooh, I feel like Beastiver had to correct himself a little bit because I think that might have given Jay-Z a little bit more of a gap. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah. No, I think Beastiver's still gaining on him. It's a bit difficult to tell. Oh, and a lockup! A lockup for Beastiver that he has to recover. Was that a lockup? I don't know. Hold on a minute. I think the gap between them is starting to shrink. Yeah, let me look at the laps between both of them beforehand. Jay-Z did a 1:34.2. Beastiver did a 1:33.4. That was an entire second out of the gap. Wait, yeah, Beastiver is now approaching the less than a second mark. I'm still not sure who's going to come out on top of all of this, especially considering how one of them seems to get pace when another one seems to get pace. But remember, this is potentially for the championship. If Jay-Z's able to pull it off, he's essentially won. If Beastiver's able to pull it off, he keeps the title battle alive for yet another race. Ooh, very nice to control. Oh, and Beastiver almost has a little bit of a slip, but he's able to control it a little earlier than Jay-Z was, so he loses pretty much no time from it. A very impressive move from the Brit right there. But still, if we can put some attention on this, HVSK has... I'm going to shut up now. Oh, and a huge lockup from Jay-Z. Look at all of the smoke coming from their tires. I feel like that may potentially give Beastiver the advantage if they're able to make a move. But now, here's where things get interesting, because we're nearing the halfway mark of the race, and now we're getting to the point where tire strategy may be involved. Hang on, Jay-Z had to overcorrect themselves, and their wheels started to get a little bit worn as well. Look at how much they had to compromise their line. This could be a position from Beastiver if they're able to make a move. Of course, the gap is still 1.6 seconds, like it has been for a while. But I'm pretty sure Beastiver is doing this to try and pressure Jay-Z into making a mistake, considering how present he's making himself. Like if Jay-Z looks in his mirrors, there's his main rival, and he hasn't made a single significant mistake throughout all of this, while Jay-Z has already made one which he's somewhat recovered from. So, really, I feel like Beastiver is trying to play the mind game with Jay-Z here. You know, the brain game, if you will. What the fuck just came out of my mouth? either way, they are now, I feel like, a second away from each other. Yes, that gap is closed to only 1 second. Beastiver is still gaining time on Jay-Z. But the real question is if one or the other decide to dive into the pits. I really don't know. Oh, it's a look-up! And another look-up recovery from Jay-Z, and I feel like after that, it was very wise for them to go into the pits after they noticed that. Oh! They almost hit the tire wall. Jay-Z was driving on the edge of what those tires could do. Really masterfully played from him. It's exactly what he needs in a title fight like this. So the real question is how Beastiver's going to manage his tires, because if he can put out a good lap here and then box for another pair, then his tires are going to be a lap older. But remember, they are still super duper close to each other, so I feel like this battle could entirely come down to what happens in the pits. Your whole championship run potentially coming down to a pit maneuver. Imagine how stressful this must be on both Beastiver and Jay-Z's end. I mean, not so much for Jay-Z, considering he absolutely nailed it, but Beastiver, now knowing that Jay-Z did it pretty much perfectly, has to try and either replicate that or exceed it. And he still has to do a lap on his increasingly worn tires. And looking at the sectors here, is Jay-Z going quicker than Beastiver? I mean, the sector's gonna come in just a moment, so just give it a sec. Oh yes, he is. That's by a pretty big margin as well. So Beastiver must be thinking about diving into the pits. If he doesn't, then that's a really risky move from the Brit. He's not going into the pits. Beastiver has decided to stick to his guns and is staying on the compound he was on before. Is he trying to do a no-stop this race? In the wet? With the hardest car to control in the wet on one of the... And sorry about that, Otto. On one of the hardest tracks to control in the wet weather? If he's able to pull that off, I will be amazed. But yeah, now begins a maintenance battle because Beastiver has to consistently lap a second quicker than Jay-Z, who has fresher tires, if he wants to keep this second place. And then there's the question of what HVSK is going to do. I really have no clue which of these two are going to stand out on top. Could it be HVSK winning for the first time since Japan? Or will Beastiver get an also-important P1 in such a critical championship battle? But of course, then there's the question of the fastest lap. Is Jay-Z going to be able to secure the fastest lap while he has this fresh compound? Because if he does that, that will give him so many bonus points. Oh, look at how tiny took that. That has to be a green. Yes, it is! It's a 28.7 and a 32.1! These are some incredible splits from Jay-Z! If he's able to tie it up in a bow in this final sector, that could be a title-deciding fastest lap! Does he master this part? I think that may have been a little bit too tight. I think he might have cut a track limit. I'm not too sure. Is Jay-Z going to secure the fastest lap? Hold your breaths! It was! Oh my god! Wait, no, it was a track limit, and Jay-Z just barely ended up missing out on the... And he's cut a track limit! Oh my god! Your whole title season could potentially... Wait, and Beastiver's boxed! Beastiver has boxed! He's not going for the no-stop strategy, he's trying to play it safe by getting some fresher tires, and the gap is about the same as it was before. Jay-Z made those potential issues there, and that's opening the door more and more for Beastiver to get a push through. Could this be Beastiver's day to push himself back into the championship picture? I'm not entirely sure, considering even if Beastiver ends up coming in second, that's not going to give him the average points he absolutely needs. That's only going to give him a... Wait, no, hold on. Let me calculate this. So, both of them are fighting for double points right now, which would mean a 6-point gap for whoever gets it. And wait, no, if Beastiver wins this, then he will get enough average bonus points to like, get what he needs to keep this title fight alive, which is 11 points per race. And it looks like Beastifer's just barely going to be able to exceed that if he's able to pull this off. And of course, HVSK still hasn't decided to box. He thinks he can keep that 16-second lead alive. Oh, it's a looker for Jay-Z. I feel like they're starting to lose control of their car after trying to drive it for so long. And considering how warm their tires are starting to get, this could be such an important battle. Did Jay-Z make a mistake by pitting so early? Could this be Beastifer's day in the sunlight? I'm not sure, but we're potentially watching what the entire championship balances upon. Oh, it's a tiny, tiny slip for Beastifer, but he controls it amazingly. And yet again, look at how instinctively he recovers that. Oh, it's a slight slip for Jay-Z! This could be the position for Beastifer if he finds a line! No, it isn't, but he's within a second now. He's within a second of the championship leader and his main rival to try and take everything. And as a reminder, if Beastifer's able to finish in first and Jay-Z comes in third, that potential outcome could shift the entire championship in Beastifer's hands. Because think about it, that's like a 20 or a 30 point increase just from that. I'm not entirely sure because the apps are kind of escaping me right now. Okay, who holds it cleaner? It's a beautiful line from Beastifer, a bit of a sloppy line from Jay-Z. Oh my god, I genuinely have no clue who's going to come out on top for this, but Beastifer is on a rapid race in these last couple laps. He is a one-man army, and it's seeming like Jay-Z isn't going to box for new tires. I think he's assuming he can bring it all the way to the end on that compound in such an unstable car. So we could potentially see a slip-up from HVSK if he's not careful. So yes, the gap between the two championship protagonists is still half a second. Beastifer controls that beautifully and prevents another potential slip. And if you want proof as to how hard these cars are to drive on 100% rain in Miami, then if you're not willing to try it yourself, then just look at how much the back of these cars want to give in. Beastifer had to do a little bit of a recovery there, but Jay-Z had to do a bigger one. I feel like that's what this is coming down to. Incremental mistakes that one driver's making, which are potentially opening the door for the other. But Beastifer's time is potentially running out as there's only 7 laps left in this. And Jay-Z got a tiny, tiny little advantage. Again, I'm not too sure how long these are going to stand for. And if you look at the lapping times from HVSK, he's currently owing about 1.8 seconds slower per lap and everyone behind them, which is just enough to keep HVSK in the lead if he's not going to make any mistakes. This really is going to be like, call me crazy, but this is probably the most intense league race I have ever seen. Both of the championship rivals racing to the limit with nobody else in sight, and someone who was disgraced from the championship after a problem they made in a prior race. They're leading the race, but they're slowly starting to lose their advantage and have to hold a 13-second gap with Super Warm tires on one of the most unstable cars in the game for 6 more laps. Who is going to come out on top? Okay, Beastifer is a lot more cautious there. A lot of smoke coming from Jay-Z's tires. Jay-Z has actually increased the gap to 1 second. But again, they still have to keep consistent throughout all of this, which I feel like is becoming a bit of an issue for Jay-Z after all of the small little slips they've been making. Oh, there's a problem for Jay-Z! Oh, it's a slip! He goes on the inside! That could be the position for Beastifer! No, it isn't. He just barely recovers it, but the gap has gotten incredibly small now. Look at this. The next time it's going to update, they're going to be within 300ths of each other. These two drivers not giving up no matter what's been thrown at them. And it's another lockup for Jay-Z, but he controls it masterfully and doesn't lose any time from it. I feel like that might have been a wall tap for Beastifer. I can't tell. Then here's the switchback. That's incredible. Jay-Z's gained back the time he lost from that little slip. This is what happens when two incredible drivers have everything to play for and have everything on the line. All of them have everything to gain and everything to lose. Beautiful section from Beastifer, Otto slips up right in front of them, but they're not really taking the race seriously anymore. Just kind of want to be a part of the action. Wait, is that? Ah! HBSK slipped! HBSK slipped! That potentially opens the door for more points to be on the table! There's 5 laps left to go, but I don't know if that's enough for one of them to catch up. It's enough for one of them to get a chance, but yeah, they're still within half a second of each other. How much does that cut down the gap? Well, we're waiting on the timing board to see how close they're getting. I feel like that's about 5 seconds or so. Only a 5-second gap between HBSK and Beastiver. No, it's 7 seconds. But Beastiver is now not safe considering the lap times they were putting in before. Look at some of the sectors here. HBSK's last lap was a 1:34, and then Beastiver's last lap was a 1:32. HBSK isn't going to make it on this pace. So this potentially opens the door for one of the drivers to finish first and the other to finish third, at least in terms of the championship critical ones. But now the gap is getting so unbelievably close. Look at this. If there were collisions on them, they will have tapped each other at least 5 times by now. But again, the gap returns to that 1 second peak that it was at before. Jay-Z is truly proving right now why he isn't being gifted the title by starting earlier, and that he fully deserves this gap that he's got. Oh, it's another lockup from Jay-Z, but he's still able to keep it in control. Beastiver still moments away from Jay-Z. If he isn't able to get ahead within these next 5 laps, then that will be his championship slipping away right in front of his eyes. It's a bit wide for Jay-Z. I think that may have been a track limit, but I'm not too sure. Hold on. Yeah, there's about half a second that separates them. Now I feel like that's got back up to 1. But again, wait, hold on. This potentially opens the door for Jay-Z winning and HBSK coming in second. If that ends up happening, then Beastiver will have no shot in hell at ever catching up to Jay-Z. Hold on. That was a really bad sector from him, and Beastiver was able to nail it. Is he able to close the gap again? Okay, the gap has gone up to 1.2 seconds. Jay-Z is starting to get more pace on Beastiver, but considering how much these two have been trading it in race pace with each other, I have a feeling that's not gonna last. Oh, it's a lookup for Jay-Z, but he recovers it once again. He has to spend more time trying to get up to speed as well. Beastiver just barely avoids a wall there. Oh, Jay-Z's having a little bit of a slip. Does he recover it? Yes, he does. Another slip recovery from Jay-Z. Remember, if he didn't recover the first one or that one, then this battle would have been over because Beastiver would have been ages ahead. This is all coming down to Jay-Z's incredible stability. Wow. I have gained so many more layers of respect for Jay-Z after watching this, considering what he's been able to keep stable. But now, he's within striking distance and within vision of HBSK with 4 laps to go. Could this be a last-second win from Jay-Z or Beastiver? I really don't know. This is the most intense race I've seen on this so far. But no, Jay-Z now has a 2-second gap on Beastiver, so Beastiver is not within striking distance, so Jay-Z can keep it a little bit calm. But he is also within range of HBSK, so do you take that risk of going quicker at the cost of potentially sliding, or do you try and play it safe and just secure second place? I don't know. So yeah, after getting so close, oh, HBSK tapped the wall! Yeah, and it was on the big straight as well. Jay-Z's gonna get closer than ever after that with only a few laps to go. Oh my, look at how much the gap is gonna shorten after that. Imagine if all of this HBSK still ends up winning. That would be unbelievable. That would be unbelievable, unconceivable. Ooh, another potential lockup from Jay-Z. Beastiver keeps the shaky car in check. They still have about 3 laps left to go. 3 laps to potentially decide the fate of this championship. And currently, this championship's looking like it's gonna go the way of Jay-Z if he's able to keep things stable. HBSK very much playing the safe game by keeping things as controlled as possible. Another slight lockup from Jay-Z, but he's able to control it. Beastiver is now starting to slowly slip away from Jay-Z, and his only hopes of potentially getting ahead now are if Jay-Z makes a major mistake. Look at how much he had to hold himself in that one section. Jay-Z has you can say a lot about Jay-Z, but one thing that's known about him is that he's been a master at preventing mistakes. Whenever he's not been able to finish a race, it's almost never been his own fault. And I feel like that consistency is what's given him the chance at the title. And of course, being an early bird, that definitely ended up helping him. So now, if we look at the gaps again, it's still a 2-second gap for Jay-Z. But look at this. HBSK hasn't lost any time in the first sector. What an incredible move from him, considering both the car he's in and the condition of it. Like look at that. 2.9. He gained time. He gained time on Jay-Z. Could this be a win for HBSK? I would be amazed if that... Oh, is it a slip? No, Jay-Z, again, on the very edge of what his car can do, controls it masterfully. But of course, in these final 2 laps, the Indy cars are now going to be seriously feeling the wear of their tires, seriously biting into their race pace. And HBSK has done enough in these next couple laps to potentially make himself safe. I'm not sure. Jay-Z still keeping things controlled as we're on to the penultimate lap and time is running out for Beastiver. He's slowly started to gain more pace, but it's not going to be enough to get at an overtake if there ends up being a shift in pace. But now, Jay-Z is now in true striking distance within HBSK as he's only 1.6 behind him. No, I lagged. Fuck. I've got to rejoin the race. I've got to rejoin. Shit. So, someone else look at it. Oh god, come on. Get me in the server. Fuck, please. I don't want to miss this. Come on. Let me in, game. Let me in. Come on. Okay, they're still racing. Nobody got masters connected. If something insane happened, we have it on a spectator camera. Okay, here we go. Okay, the gap has been closed significantly between HBSK and Jay-Z. If Jay-Z is able to pull this off without Beastiver getting the overtake on HBSK, then that is a surefire indicator of total domination from Jay-Z. And he is within striking distance of the lead with only 1 lap to go after these next couple quarters. Beastiver just has to look in the distance as his potential championship is going to slip away in the hands of Jay-Z if he's able to nail this with only 1 lap to go. It's a spin from HBSK as Jay-Z takes the lead of the race. If HBSK is able to bring this back, I'll be amazed as there's only 1 lap left in the Miami Grand Prix. Oh my god. Okay, Jay-Z's still able to keep it there, but look at how much his wheels are locking up. Beastiver's made it within a second towards them. This is the most intense finish I've ever seen out of any league race, and it's potentially looking like euphoria for Jay-Z. But Beastiver's got a better line. Is he able to hold it? Wait, no, that's HBSK. HBSK has a better line. He slips out a little bit, but HBSK still not out of the fight. He's purely using the top speed of the 2022 car to try and keep himself in the game. And this is the one area where it's going to help him. But Jay-Z seems to have made the move. But both of them are on really worn tires. Beastiver is getting super duper close. If there is still room for a last second mistake, HBSK backs the wall. That could be a move from Beastiver as well. And there's so little time to go in this race. I think that's going to be it. I think Beastiver's got the move. Oh, Beastiver slips out. Oh my god, if Beastiver can't get the overtake on HBSK, this could be the title battle over. And there's only 1 major corner left to decide it. HBSK has a 1-second gap. Is he able to maintain it and win the Miami Grand Prix? Can HBSK hold on a second? It's a look-up. He takes it safe. Beastiver nails it. HBSK nails it. Jay-Z wins the Miami Grand Prix. HBSK comes second. And the title fight is over. Oh my god. Oh, what an incredible race from everyone there! Jay-Z truly proving his legend status and scoring so many points on Beastiver. HBSK finishing in 2nd place after such an incredible run, and crucially, Beastiver finishing 2 positions behind Jay-Z, who 50 points in one race with the hardest car to control! Oh my god, I'm losing my breath! That was incredible! Oh my god! And with that, I know that the title fight could still potentially rage on, but I feel like that right there has essentially secured the title. Oh my god! Everyone give a round of applause for Jay-Z's. I'm starting to lose my breath. This entire season battle came down to that, and Jay-Z managed it beautifully. Oh my god. Oh. I'm losing my breath. Tanga, die. Wow. Okay. Remember, these cars are near impossible to drive in Miami. This is the equivalent of winning a race while driving on lava using tires that are optimized for the sand. How were they able to maintain themselves for so... I guess I'll see you next week then. Holy shit.